Trump or Harris? Well, it looks like the big orange guy is going to get in again. Why is that? Because the Americans had Hobson's choice, didn't they? Regardless of who they voted for. They were getting an idiot. Now, I shouldn't have, but I've been listening to Radio 4. And the pundits on Radio 4 do not believe anything the BBC tell you. And that's the first thing we've got to establish. The BBC are the paid propaganda arm of the British government. So never believe anything they people tell you. If they tell you it's raining outside, go have a look and check that it actually is. So according to the pundits on the BBC, the reason Trump's going to take it is because of the American economy. The American economy is actually doing kind of okay just now. One of the reasons is they've just upped the ante with their natural gas exports. 2 years ago, the biggest natural gas exporter to Europe was the Russian Federation. Harris and Biden, Joe Biden, he take him out and put him out of his misery. You wouldn't let your dog go about like that if it was in the condition he's in. Joe Biden managed to start a hot war in Europe. He blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. And now the Americans are selling Europe 50%. You can go check it out. 50% of all the compressed natural gas coming into Europe now comes from America instead of Russia. Right? So part of the reason the American economy is doing better is because the Yanks are now selling Europe gas. All wars are about energy, aren't they? If you think the Ukrainian war is about sovereignty or transgender rights or anything, you're kidding yourself on. They're always about energy. So Biden started World War III with the Russian Federation. The Russians have annihilated everything Europe, America, NATO, or anybody else can throw at them on the Russian border. If you know anything about Russian history, fighting that country on their border or across their border is not a good idea. So Biden started a war with Russia so America could sell Europe natural gas. What should have happened was the Europeans should have shut down Ramstein Air Base in America. They should have shut down Coulport and Faslane in Scotland. And they should have told the Americans to F off, get out of Europe. That's what should have happened. But they didn't. They jumped into a pit and got themselves involved in a conflict with Russia, their main energy supply. So Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak, Olaf Scholz, a lot of them, Emmanuel Macron, anybody that told you this was a good idea. The wee guy in the yellow van could have told you it was a very bad idea. You weren't going to win that one, right? So we have now spent billions upon billions of pounds winding up the most reliable, cheapest energy supplier Europe ever had. Next one, Gaza. If you think the war in the Middle East, it's not a war, it's an absolute diabolical slaughter. If you think the Israel, who are they fighting now? They're fighting everybody, aren't they? They're flattening Gaza, they're attacking Lebanon, bombing Syria. They didn't bomb Iran, did they? They did not bomb Iran. The Iranians have bombed them twice. The Israelis couldn't bomb Iran. Why couldn't the Israelis bomb Iran? Because the Iranian air defense systems were so good, they spotted the invisible little stealth aeroplanes. The Israelis flew to Iran to try to bomb Iran. Why would you bomb Iran? What's Iran's biggest export? Is it avocados? Is it cabbages? Is it falafel mix? No. It's oil and gas. Iran has been heavily sanctioned by all the Western countries. Where does Iran's oil and gas go? It goes to China. So the big geopolitical moves on behalf of the psychotic American empire were to whack European energy supplies. Job done. They started a war, and now by trying to whack Iran, they were trying to whack China, weren't they? American government does not like having other manufacturing bases compete with it. If you disturb the manufacturer's energy supply, it stops him being able to manufacture stuff, doesn't it? So Europe's absolutely down the toilet pan. If Trump gets in, he will stop the war with Russia. But I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen just now. He's going to go, there you go, Europe. You deal with that. So job's done there. The Iranians, on the other hand, now you think about this. Israel it's a bit like Scotland actually. It's a weapons base for America so that the Americans can threaten the oil producing countries in that area. Scotland produces oil and we keep an eye on what moves in and out the Baltic Sea. So we are very strategically important. We can see the submarines or anything coming from the Russian military. The Iranians have bombed Israel twice, and Israel cannot return because the difference in military technology between what the Iranians and Russians have got and what NATO has got is like a 20-year difference. It's over for NATO. It's over for the American empire. I think the Iranians are going to whack Israel. I think they're going to take it off the face of the map. I think they're going to hit it again, right? We'll see in the next few days the Iranians do a thing in the Iranian space. However, my advice to Europe would be the USA has never been weaker. Trump's going to come in. He's going to drop Ukraine like a bag of spanners. Job's done, isn't it? Europe's lost billions upon billions of pounds. And the Russians hate us, so there's no deals to be done there. However, the big one is the Iranians apparently, when they flew the F-35 stealth, they really flew the F-35 stealth fighters towards Iran. The Iranians hit them up 200 miles from the border. They lit them up. It's a technical term that means they got radar locks on them, and they were ready to shoot down the F-35 fighters. These things cost a fortune. Their selling point is their stealth. The Iranian, what was it, the military pundits have been saying? They flew into a radar system they had never encountered before. So the Israelis had to turn around and get the F out of Dodge. America has never been weaker. It's time for Europe to tell the Americans to hoof it out of Europe. And guys like Keir Starmer, Olaf Scholz, Emmanuel Macron and all the rest of them, put them in trial. They put the interests of America and Israel to an extent ahead of the interests of their own people. The reason prices are so high in Europe just now is because they're using stealth taxes on us to pay for their wars over there. Alright, nice cheery one. It doesn't matter for Europe. It doesn't matter for the UK. It doesn't matter for Scotland. Whether it's Trump or Harris. Harris was in power as a genocide was being committed. Harris was in power as the weapon supply went to Russia. Nobody could vote for her anyway. If you voted for her, you were a effing idiot. Can I say that? Anyway, next cheery upload. We're in a beautiful part of modern Manchester. So that's my take on the American elections. These maniacs have never been weaker. We've just watched the Iranians kick their arse. We've just watched the Russians annihilate them. They cannot threaten us just now. All they're interested in, it was energy in Europe via Russia, and they wanted to whack China's energy supplies. They've managed to cut the tie between Russia and Europe, but it's over for the American empire. They do not have the military technology. They do not have the economy. They do not have the manufacturing base to take on Iran, China, and Russia. So, happy 6th of November, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Bye.